Hello and welcome to Lead the Way with Dr. John Joseph. Over the last few weeks, we have been looking at this wonderful topic of your leadership personal growth. The reason why people would want to join your journey is because they see that you're doing the journey well. You are growing. Everyone wins when a leader grows and gets better. Everyone with him begins to grow when they know that they're in an environment of growth. What kind of environment are you creating for your team? Your mindset to grow as a team has to be one of a constant evaluation. Are we growing? Have we got the right things in place? As a leader, am I growing? And am I creating an environment for people to grow? If you don't grow, then you are the lead. You're the one that stands in the way for the organization to get into the next level. You're the one that stands in the way for the ministry. So for which we've been looking at the last few weeks how we need to increase our capacity so that others can increase their capacity around us. If we are growing, we create avenue to grow. David had to grow from being a shepherd boy to becoming the king of Israel. When he faithfully took care of the sheep over in the wilderness, God set him and prepared him to be the leader over in the kingdom. Now, when we think about David as a shepherd boy, we think he was a little boy, with a little shepherd, picking up this few stones and throwing it here and there and playing and skipping around. That's not the truth. The truth is, he was not just a shepherd boy, he was a shepherd man. Why was he a shepherd man? Because when the lion or the bear came, he took them with their hands, purposefully killed them, fought them with his own hands. And if he was a shepherd, man, a man who fought those battles, those private battles prepared him for his public battles. So you need to keep growing. David, Gideon all had success stories. And when people heard about their success stories, people wanted to join their team. Whenever you start a ministry or an organization, if you have some personal battles that you have fought, and there is a success story that people are listening to, they want to join your team. I have people on my team today that through the years that have been with me for well over a decade or close to 2 decades, some over 2 decades, of serving God alongside being my friend or ministering. And a couple of them come back to me and they say, John, in the yesteryears when we saw you as a young man leading worship or ministering or preaching, for some reason when we heard the stories that you shared about the way you were going and the things God was enabling you to do, deep down in the recesses of our heart, we said, God, if it is possible, someday can we serve this man of God? Can we be part of the team? Why did they say that? I had nothing special. I was someone who came from a great background of ministry. But what was it that I had? There was a success story on my life, week after week, walking with God. A new place where I went and did something new. A hard work that bore fruit. A sacrifice that was done. A forgiveness, an act of forgiveness or kindness or love. That when people begin to hear those stories of what God was doing through our life, they say, hey, we want to be part of this success story. If you have a success story, people want to join your team. So create a life of success stories so that you can create avenue for people to create their own success stories. So what do we do now that we are working on our own personal growth? It is a journey, so you got to take people along with you. You must take people that haven't come as far as you have gone. The people that have great potential, great skill, but they have not done greater things than what you have done. So that there is a need to grow and there's a need to know more. People want to join your story, and so first thing you do is to know where you're going and creating an environment of success. The main point is while you're doing this is now to begin to pick the right people to get on the bus, because this bus is going on a journey. And this is where we are going to go. There are a lot of leaders that have started the bus and are driving along to La La Land, and they have absolutely no idea where they're going. They said, well, God will lead us. We will find out along the way. No, people don't want to follow such a leader. They want to follow a leader that heard from God what he's supposed to do, where he's supposed to go, and has some semblance of a strategic plan in place, and someone who has a cutting edge of faith above them. So you need to look for those people to get on the bus. Now many people may want to get on your bus, but you as the driver, you don't allow everybody to come in your bus. You begin to ask the question, If I'm going on this journey, what are the kind of people I want on my bus? Now listen to me carefully while I say this. I am differentiating between sheep and staff. You don't decide which kind of sheep come into your flock. God brings the sheep so that they can be taken care of. But you have jolly well better decide which kind of staff come on your team, because your staff are not sheep. Many people not knowing when to be shepherd, not knowing when to be CEO, they mess the whole thing up. When we're talking about leading a team, we ain't talking about sheep, we're talking about some staff here. So you need to know who are the staff you need to get on board. What kind of gifts, what kind of variety of gifts. After you do that, you need to ask the question, not only are they going to get on board, how can I bring the right people to sit at the right place on my team? If somebody is good at music, I don't put him into preaching. If somebody is good at preaching, I don't put him as an usher. But definitely as an usher, I would ask, who's got the biggest smile in town? Who's somebody who gets energized by meeting with people? I want them to be at that gate. Who has a great heart to serve one another? I want them to be on the ushering team. And I look for somebody with communicative skill and a life to be modeled who can get up and speak. I wouldn't put somebody who's who'd be a pastor, who's going to eventually become a protector, become the predator of the sheep. So you need to really look for what kind of person you're looking for. Put them on the right space on the bus. Proper people placement oftentimes in life prevents a lot of problems. In the early years, I really didn't know it. I didn't know what kind of people to look for. And oftentimes when you're smaller and you got very little money, you just take anybody that comes your way. Are you free? Join me. But I want you to know, if you pick people like that, as much as they join, I also want you to know, because they were free and they've joined, and maybe it's not their vision, they will also choose to go. So God, who comes on board, because you want to, as the years go by, you want to pick well, because your attrition will be minimal. Ask the questions, what place on the bus is available? What place in my ministry? What kind of person do I want? When I want someone on my accounts team, I don't want someone who is talking all the time, a happy personality who loves to be with people and put them behind that computer, behind the account books. I want someone who's into detail. Ask the questions, what kind of people do I want on board? Don't hire people just for what they know. Hire them for who they are. Because what they know will get them into your office. Who they are will determine whether they will stay in your office. You need to look at both. You need to look at, does someone know the subject? If not, I can train them. But what's going to cost me more is if I'm not sure who they are. What kind of people are we bringing? Are they bringing toxic culture? Are they going to divide the staff? Are there bitter people, critical people? Are there people with bad attitude? And I want you to know, your attitude determines your altitude. It's going to determine how far they're going to go in the organization. So don't hire people for what they know. Hire them for who they are. And thank you very much. Be careful when you get into picking staff. Please don't ask for volunteers. Many times people will come forward and you call for volunteers for the worship team. And I want to show you some of the people who just don't know to sing will come and volunteer for your worship team. When they sing, you probably the crows will cry out for the rapture. Come soon, Lord Jesus. We can't handle this person singing. If you ask for volunteers, oftentimes people that don't fit the description will come on board. But you go out there and start recruiting people. Say, hey, can you follow me? You look at somebody with gifting, walk up to them and saying, would you like to join our team? And I've seen oftentimes when you make that first move and then you pick them, you test them, you give them an opportunity, you ask them, like Jesus did. He walked up to people and said, follow me. And I want you to know, when you have control over who's getting on that bus, you will have the ability to place them in the right place to be on the bus. So finally, I just want you to know, this is a journey, picking people and working with staff. Some people will come, some people will go, some people come for a project, some for a season, some for a lifetime. Enjoy the journey, keep leading.